We'll start with the news center, but before I give you the news center, we are told that there's been a crash. There's a truck that is involved in a crash or it's broken down on the motorway, and it's causing a lot of traffic. This week has been a bad week for users of the motorway, and we hope that the Ghana Police Service, ambulance service, and the various institutions that must react to this can get to the scene and help people move faster on the motorway. So Ghana Police Service, if you are listening, please dispatch people to the motorway. There's a truck which is causing a lot of trouble for users on the motorway this morning in Accra. So I'll start with the news center. Cocoa farmers lose 1,038 Ghana cedis per bag, translating into 16,608 cedis loss per ton. It comes with a photo of KCL Atto forcing, and the minority is condemning the big cocoa price cut. They call it a haircut for cocoa farmers. More from the news center. IGP promotes record 12,802 personnel, and we are told that this is a backlog of promotions that needed to be done, and the IGP has effectively done that. And 71% of Ghanaians worried about rising food prices, and indeed this is also one of the big stories. And Occupy Ghana submits bill to criminalize bribery in party primaries, and the Anna story is here. 7-0 Supreme Court verdict affirms Anas's title to Chado land.
The chronicle for this morning, Galatians chapter 6 verse 7. Do not be deceived, God is not mocked. For whatever one sows, that will he also reap. The big one says Mahama reduces cocoa price, and we're told that going forward the price of cocoa would be based on the world market. It will not just be a fixed price, but as it moves, so would it also go. So that's it basically. Let me just share with you what the finance minister said when it comes to cocoa and why we need to have a price cut.
The world market price has dropped significantly from the average of 7,200 tons to 4,100 per ton, making Ghana's cocoa beans uncompetitive and creating liquidity challenges. To address this, the Producer Price Review Committee, PPRC, met this afternoon under my chairmanship to assess the challenges facing the sector and review the producer price for the remainder of the 2025-2026 crop year. In order to cushion the farmer, the PPRC has recommended that the farmer be paid 90% of the achieved gross FOB of $4,200 per ton to mitigate the adverse impact on the farmer as a result of the fall in the world market price. As a result of that, the PPRC thereby announces that effective today, Thursday, 12 February 2026, the new producer price for the remainder of the 2025-2026 crop season will now be 41,392 Ghana cedis per ton and 2,587 Ghana cedis per bag. This measure has become necessary to reflect the reality of the world market price of cocoa, ensure the injection of immediate liquidity for expedited payment of farmers, and guarantee the sustainability of our cocoa sector.
So that's Finance Minister Dr. Atto Forsen there. And look, I've heard lots of things being said about cocoa, how, there was a shortfall in production. We had actually sold these products in advance and all of that. Well, we'll get into that conversation shortly. But litigation over Chadolan Zanas wins big at the Supreme Court. Minority rejects new cocoa price, all on the front page of the Chronicle.
And if you come to the Ghanaian point, IGP Yohunu ends 10-year promotion backlog, elevates over 12,000 officers in the Ghana Police Service. 68% of Ghanaians approve of President Mahama's performance, according to an IEA survey. If you go to Ayawasu East, the by-election, there are two Babas running. NDC's Baba Jamal draws number 1, as NPP's Baba Ali picks number 3. Education Minister, Deputy Communications Minister escaped death in Bolgatanga Tumu road crash. There were photos that were circulated online yesterday. It doesn't look good, but we are told that They are okay. They are being attended to by healthcare professionals. And GES bans Koforidua Sectech, Nodrasco, that is the new job in secondary school, and Insutech. Winston, you know why?
Tell me.
Over gang rape.
What?
Stabbing incidents at a sports event.
Let's listen to the Deputy Education Minister, Dr. Clement Apak.
Through the Ghana Education Service, I can inform the good people of Ghana that 2 culprits have since been arrested as being part of the perpetrators of the heinous act of rape, and they are assisting the police in investigation. The young lady herself is receiving counseling, and we are doing our best to ensure that she's properly rehabilitated. Investigations are also ongoing with regards to the case of stabbing.
Yeah, so students,
Secondary school students.
You are taken to school to learn, build your capacity, come out, upgrade, and contribute to national development. And you gang rape someone, you stab yourselves. Where? At a sports event.
How?
Which should be a fun and exciting opportunity for networking and
how?
Extracurricular activities, basically.
Well, I'm happy that these persons have been arrested, and they have to be punished. I ask myself the question, and when we went to secondary school, the advice that I was giving is that anything that you do, that you may be happy, but your family, your parents would not be happy if they find out.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
Even if your parents would be happy and your community, society will not be happy, don't do it. And I learned something in secondary school. Whenever our headmaster, there was this headmaster, whenever he was coming to dismiss students, after everything he ended by saying, this person is not fit to live in society. These boys are not fit to live in society. They're not. But you see, if it's degenerated to this, because there's been fights all over, it means also that over the period we've not done something right.
Yeah.
And so we just don't have to end it there, that we've dealt with these boys and that's the end of it. Okay? We have to ensure that these things don't happen again. So the investigations must not end at, okay, we've arrested the boys, we've punished them.
And the schools have been suspended for 2 years from all public
the investigations should also understand why they do these things. I mean, how in God's name is gang rape something worth doing?
An underage student.
How? I mean, I just don't understand it.
Yeah.
That you gang rape somebody. I mean, how did it even come by that thought? That, secondary school students. This is bad. Let's go. Okay.
I have the BNFT also here.
Okay, go ahead with it.
Now the BNFT is also talking about the cocoa sector. The debt conversation, price cuts and processing mandate mark cocoa sector overhaul. And there are a lot of questions unanswered so far. Yesterday, Finance Minister Atu Forson spoke, but so many questions have been left unanswered. For example, with the new reforms and with the new strategy to end this current season, would COCOBOD even earn enough money to take care of their direct costs? If you look at their 2020, so the latest COCOBOD annual report I've seen is the 52nd annual report on their website, which is for 2021. In 2021, their direct cost was about 12.7 billion Ghana cedis, right? Let's just assume we are still working with the 2021 direct cost. This season, COCOBOD will make at most 8 billion on its own from the share of the proceeds of the cocoa sales. How are they going to take care of all these things?
Okay.
Now, we say that the COCOBOD debts are also being moved. It becomes part of the national debt, right? COCOBOD, an institution without proper financial foundations, you want to go out and raise a bond for COCOBOD. Will the will funders be interested in this bond? If they will not be interested, how do we assure them? Are we going to give them a sovereign guarantee?
Well,
Right.
the state will guarantee, and so look, COCOBOD. Now, in the past, we know that challenges with the cocoa syndicated loan and everything, and that's why we're not able to get it today. But my point is that when you get into office, Kojo, it's been one whole year. When you got into office, you saw the books. You knew what the problems were.
And you also saw the trends when it comes to production volumes.
So you immediately had to get to work. This attitude of consistently staying back, and then you are faced with a problem today. Then you come and say, because of the previous administration and what they did, we cannot pay. First of all,
That's why they were voted out.
we have voted. But first
So
of
when
all,
you come reset and do the work.
but first of all, now, if the previous administration engage in forward sales, which means you have that market readily available. If they took the money, if they took a loan and they didn't get it, they didn't procure that, we couldn't produce that much. That money should be there. If that money wasn't there, immediately you'd have to start the processes of getting that money. Or whoever was responsible, that person should be facing the law. Once you have done that, you then ask yourself, okay, so going forward, what do I need to do? If you need to cut down on your indirect cost, you need to do that. Now, you don't run the system as usual, turn around and come and complain to me.
Yeah.
You see, you don't do the usual things and then come back and say, oh, today, there are people who work in certain places. If you work in the Ministry of Agriculture, or say, some people who are on COCOBOD payroll because they think that that's where the juice is. But that's not how you run an entity. Today, that's not how you run an entity. When we were setting even the price at the time, did we factor the fact that we owed into the pricing? Look, it's been 1 year. You know the state of the books. Deal with the challenges. We'll talk more about this later. The daily guide for this morning: SC rejects Anas judgment reversal. High Court grants injunction in Wasafiase case. Cocoa prices get haircut. 2,587 per bag. Minority calls for COCOBOD bailout. Suspend VAT Act, Gov't to government, and IGP promotes 12,802 officers. It means we can bring you the online news review.
Quickly online, Ghana's gold output hits record 6 million ounces in 2025, industry group says. And on gold and Galamsey, Ashanti Regional Minister on attacks for Galamsey, he says investigations are underway, wrongdoers will be punished. And he says he's calling for natural justice over calls to interdict the Amansie DCE. Ken Ashigbe says the anger against illegal mining is not enough. We should be more angry. And Elikem Kotoko from the Forestry Commission says the president is determined to fight Galamsey. Dario Bosu of Arusha says that government should have been more decisive with the Galamsey fight. And if you go to City Newsroom, Johnson Esidin Ketia is touring the country and he says people should be patient. Mahama can't appoint everyone right now. And Randy Abe is rejecting the minorities' call for its removal. I'll give you a final story which really worries me. Graphic.com.dh, no bed syndrome and how a hit and run victim was refused. We'll give you more details on that story and other stories later on the show.
Okay, it means